Good evening. Thank you for being here today. We can't,
We can't start till we get a quorum. So you have to wait until. Yes, sir, and there has to be 4 here. They said they would be here.
okay, we'll wait.
We just have to wait till they arrive. They said they would be here. There has to be 4 present on location before we can start the meeting. By law, there has to be a quorum present at the location that the meeting's held. Yes, sir.
Very good. Good evening. It's 6:10. I will call this meeting in order. If we could please stand up for the invocation and pledge. Dear wise and loving Father, thank you on behalf of all of us who are gathered here today. Thank you for all your many and abundant blessings. We're gathered here today for our meeting. Please send us your Holy Spirit to be our guide and to give us the wisdom to understand every topic that we're about to discuss. Let your love be upon us. May this meeting bring success and growth to our team and to our lovely city of Los Fresnos. In your name we pray. Amen. To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible. Moving forward, do we have any visitors remarks? No? Okay. We don't have no visitors remark today. So we're gonna move forward to the item number D. And it's public hearing. It's a public hearing of the annexation and zoning of property being 34.03 acres tract of land, more or less out of tract 44, subdivision F, in Paredes tract subdivision in chair 19. Espiritu Santo Grant, Cameron County, Texas, said 34.03 acres tract, also being out of the certain 747.21 acres tract land describing the deed recorded in volume 22,333, page 291 of the official records of Cameron County, Texas, and being more particular, described by meters and abundant as follow. Located at the east side of the city limits and the south side of Highway 100. Do we? Okay, and it's 6:12. Do we have any public hearings? Okay, being 6:13, we're closing with no public hearings today. Being the 6:13, we're gonna end the public hearings today at 6:13, yes. Now we're gonna move forward with the presentation, and it's gonna be item number 1, the presentation of Los Fresnos Chamber of Commerce with Mr. Val Champion.
Good evening, Madam Mayor Pro Temp and distinguished council members. This is a report for all of last year. COVID-19 tested our personal and business ability to withstand many months of stay-at-home orders and social distancing. The virus has had a profound impact on our locally owned businesses, which are the backbone of our community. In spite of this handicap, the Chamber continued to promote and assist businesses in our market area. We look for all possible ways to promote, announce, and advertise our members' businesses. We also announced and promoted social and cultural events to enhance the welfare and prosperity of our community. During the year, we acquired 34 new members. Half of those, 16, are not from Los Fresnos. They are from, as you can see, from Edinburgh, Brownsville, San Benito, Port Isabel, La Feria, Hidalgo, Boca Chica, and Laguna Vista. And we believe that there are businesses that surround our city of Los Fresnos that look to Los Fresnos and possibly consider, well, there's green grass over there, so maybe we better try to market our products and services. we hope that that's the situation. Of course, I think that the opening up of the virus helped us to acquire these members because businesses were anxious to get back on track. During the year, we organized 5 community festivals and events. The Easter Drive-Through Festival, then the 4th of July Independence Day celebration, the Conjunto Festival, Halloween Festival, and the Christmas Parade and Festival. Regarding our social media, our daily email announcements, Facebook and Twitter pages and website continue to get the word out to our community and beyond. Some of our Facebook postings indicate more than 15,000 viewers, which we think is pretty good. During the year, we also collaborated with the Los Fresnos Community Development Corporation. And some of the projects that we helped out with were the Resaca Escondida Restoration Project, the Texas Travel Magazine, Workforce Solutions Cameron, Conjunto Festival, Cowboy Cook-Off, Explore the RGV, Los Fresnos CISD Career and Technical Education, and the City of Los Fresnos Travel and Business Guide. For details of those, you can see them in the report. That pretty well concludes our report, except for the addition of the financial statements, which are attached to your report. And this indicates the Chamber's financial situation as of the end of last year, December 31, 2021. The balance sheet shows the Chamber's position as of the end of the year and indicates that the Chamber can handle the ebbs and flows of revenues and expenses. The profit and loss statement shows the Chamber's performance during the period and reports our income and expenses. And the cash flow statement organizes and reports the cash generated and used during the year and converts items reported on the P&L from accrual basis to cash basis. This is our report for the year. I would be happy to answer any questions.
I don't have a question, just a comment. Thank you for everything that you guys do. I really enjoyed. On December, I was able to participate in the parade and I really enjoyed it. I saw a lot of happy faces. The kids, the family was happy to continue having, even though we are in this pandemic. So congratulations and looking forward for the rest of the year. Okay, now moving forward to item F, consent agenda. Item number 1, consideration and action to approve the minutes from December 14, 2021. Do we have a discussion in that?
I propose we adopt the minutes from last month.
I second that.
Now, everybody in favor, please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All of those that are opposed do the same. Okay, motion in consideration to approve the minutes from this December 14, 2021 meeting. Now we have the action items, and it's going to be action number 1, consideration and actions for the mayor and council to support the participation in the 2022 It's Time Texas Community Challenge.
I'd like Christine to come up and just say a few things about the challenge. Those that have been here prior years understand it. And we've done it for 4 years. And she'll get you all up to date.
What am I close enough? Good evening, Mayor, City Council members. My name is Christine Martinez. I'm the Community Health Supervisor for the City of Los Fresnos. And I wanted to talk to you all a little bit about the 2022 It's Time Texas Community Challenge. It's a statewide competition. It challenges individuals, schools, workplaces, and cities to engage in healthy activities in support of a healthier community. The 8-week competition takes place this year from January 3rd through February 27th. And so we're already 1 week in, and so far we're in first place. So as Mr. Mila mentioned, we have participated since 2018. And in 2018, it was our first year. We took the runners-up award that year, so it's really exciting. And since then, we have taken first place. And it's not easy. It's a lot of work. The community, the leaders, I mean, we all come together, the school district, and we all work really hard to support our community and encourage them to better health. And so what I'm here today to ask is for your support again, to sign a pledge of support as leaders, the mayor, the city council, each one of you. If you sign a pledge, our community will earn 500 points per pledge. And so I'd like to ask for your support this evening. I can take a pledge over to you so that you can read over it and see how you feel. That's okay? Yes. Okay.
Is this a pledge here?
Oh, you have them already. Perfect. So if you agree, what you'll do is you'll just, you'll sign your name, the date, and then I will take a quick photo of you with the pledge, and then I can upload them for the points for our city.
We can do
I'll
that
do mine
later.
from home, Christine. So I'll sign it and take a picture and send it to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Mayor.
Super
Also,
excited.
thank you. Thank you for your support. And also, Mayor, if you are able and you're interested, we can also do a video like we did last year for additional points. It doesn't have to happen this week. I mean, whenever you have the time, we can organize that if you're interested.
Oh, most definitely. I think we can collaborate, maybe even incorporate some of the council members if they'd like, so we can have a pretty good video and maybe even get the superintendent involved.
That
I
would
want
be
to make this
exciting.
year an awesome video. So super
Awesome.
excited about the It's Time Texas Community Challenge.
Oh, great. Thank you so much for your support. Okay, I can go up and take photos, or is that okay? No, thank you.
We'll go ahead and have a motion to approve if you wish to, and then do the photos and sign.
I would do the motion to approve.
I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve action item number 1, consideration and action for the mayor and the council to support and participate in the 2022 It's Time Texas Community Challenge.
I'll second the motion. All in favor, please raise your hand, say aye. All of those against, do the same. So motion approved in consideration of action of the council member pledge. Congratulations, Ms. Christine, for everything that you guys do. I personally myself have attended to a couple of Zumba classes, and they're very nice. So, and I know that you guys have right now the cooking lessons that I was seeing. So I would really encourage everybody to continue. One of my recommendations would be to maybe, if you would like more information, I know that the Cameron County Public Health, they have a lot of information pamphlets and recipes, and maybe that'll be very helpful as well. Okay, moving to item number 2, consideration and action to approve the first reading of ordinance 532, annexation hereinafter described territory of Los Fresnos, Texas, Cameron County, and extending the boundary limits of State City so as to Cameron County and extending the boundaries limit of the State City so as to include the hereinafter described property within the city limits and zoning the property annexation of officially zoning map to reflect the new zoning and granting to all the inhabitants and said property all the rights and privilege of the citizens and binding said inhabitants by all the acts, ordinance, resolution, and regulation of said city and adopting a service plan.
This area, Mark, it is in our ETJ, is that correct?
Yes, sir. The area is just on the other side of the drainage ditch from where Elvis Restaurant is in that property. It is an extension of the, what do they call Feather Ridge? Feather Ridge Phase 1, 2, 3, 4, which is right back here. They're going across the drainage ditch, and because of that, they were calling it, I think they're gonna call this one something else. The Orchards. But it is the same developer. And one of the questions was asked last time about drainage, so I'll address that. The good thing about when people ask us to annex, they have to put in streets, drainage, sewer, water, streetlights, everything, and they do it to our codes. So that is very positive. Couple of questions when we approved the item last time to put it on the agenda and to have the public hearing were how would drainage affect the already existing drainage? I met with Scott Fry from Drainage District Number 1, and they have a very good program that helps them determine flows, and it's something that our engineers use as well. However, theirs is much more stringent, which is good for no flooding. What they do is they take 100-year flood at a 4-hour downpour. Most cities do 5-year, 25-year. I don't know of any that does 50 even, but so we're fortunate that Irrigation District Number 1 requires 100-year. What that means is all of our new developments that we've had have been right on the money and very good. They don't impact the old parts of the city. One of the disadvantages is we have to go back and fix. It doesn't fix the already existing issues. We did talk about some things that we can do and we'll bring to you to do those. We can't discuss that since it's not on the agenda, but we'll bring those to you. Some more items that he thinks will help us. But anyway, those calculations and what it is basically they have to provide for detention and runoff for every acre, 1/3 of an acre. So it's pretty stringent, and that's good for us.
And also on the same token, we also get the percentage for the park area on that, on that.
Correct. That will, as they develop their property and lay it out, they will either come to us and say, hey, we would like to give a portion for a park area, or most of the time they'll come and say, let us give 10%, which is part of our ordinance. And we put that in a separate account that we can utilize for either buying some property for a sports park that's been talked about before, or upgrade our existing parks.
And this is primarily gonna be residential, right?
Yes, sir. All of the front part is commercial along Highway 100. And then the back part is residential, just like the extension from here on.
Okay. I'm excited about the growth. I'm excited about the new businesses that are coming in here from outside our area. The only, I guess, drainage, I know you've been asking since last time our meeting about those issues. The only other question I guess I would have, and it doesn't have to be asked right now, maybe if you can look into the effects of entering Highway 100 or I don't know how many main entrances into Highway 100 that's going to hit, but it's something that TxDOT has mentioned to you or something past.
Yes, in this one, they'll only have one entrance because TxDOT only requires so much distance between streets. And so on this stretch, it's going to be pretty good. It'll be pretty spread out. So one of the problems was in the old days, they didn't have those rules. And so each house had a driveway off the 100. And really, if planning was done properly, they would have been only one and you would come to one area. So they are doing that, and that's controlled by TxDOT.
Well, I think right now with the construction on the road, it's going to work for our benefit, right?
Yeah.
So we make a motion, right?
I'd like to
I'll
make a
make I'll
motion.
make a motion that we approve action item number 2 as stated.
I'll second that motion. 1G2. Approval.
Okay, everybody in favor, please raise your hand and say aye.
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 All of those against, please say the same. Okay, motion to approve. Moving to item number 3, consideration and action to appoint or reappoint 3 persons to the Community Development Corporation. I would like to name one of each. And the first one, I would like to make a motion to reappoint Mr. Enrique Juarez to continue serving the Community Development Corporation.
I'll go ahead and second that motion.
Everybody in favor, please say aye. Raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
All of those against, please do the same.
What were the names?
Mr. Enrique Juarez. Next one, I would like to nominate Mr. Pedro Maldonado to be part also of the CTC. Mr. Maldonado is supervisor manager of Walmart. He's been very supportive to the city. He's part also of the Rotary Club, and he's involved in different organizations, United Way, to name just one. He's been very helpful, so I would like to nominate him.
So
I'll make a motion for him.
Take now.
Mr. Jeffrey Keeler. Keeler?
Did you make a
So you
motion
nominated-
for Maldonado?
Yes, she made a motion
Yes, I make a motion.
for Mr. Pete Maldonado.
I'll second that.
Okay, all of those in favor, please raise your hand and say aye.
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 All of those against, please do the same. Motion approved to name Mr. Pedro Maldonado to be part of the CDC. The next one, I will also like to nominate Mr. Alberto Escobedo to be part of the CTC. He is also very involved in the community. He has been involved helping in different organizations as a board, his marketing representative. And I would like to make a motion for him to be part of the CTC.
So whose position is he taking?
He will be taking Mr. Tom Jones' position.
I'll go ahead and make the motion that the nomination be approved.
Okay, that was the second. She motioned and you second.
And mine was the second.
All of those in favor, please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All of those against, please do the same.
I'll abstain.
Mr. Juan?
Where,
Mr. Tom Jones. Mr. Tom Jones. Yes, I made a motion to nominate Mr. Alberto Escobedo in the position of Mr. Tom Jones.
there's a motion was made for Tom Jones. I make a motion that we appoint Tom Jones on another term.
The motion was made by Gabby and second by Polo to appoint Mr. Albert Escobedo in place of Tom Jones.
Okay, so now I disagree.
Mayor? Your vote was?
I vote for Mr. Escobedo. It's a 4.
Okay, it would be 3-4, 1 abstention and 1 no. Passes.
Okay, carry motion to approve Mr. Alberto Escobedo to be part of the CTC. Moving forward to acknowledgement of the city manager's report. Item number 1, city manager's report.
I wanted to take a little bit of time again on item F, which is the drainage. To go a little bit further, since this is part of the agenda, with what Mr. Scott Fry and I discussed. There's some possibilities to be able to widen the ditch that runs from Highway 100 to past Alvarez Court, and also the ditch that runs from FM 1847 or Arroyo Boulevard to where it ends at the cul-de-sac by 10th Street and Alvarez Court. He said we just need to send a letter and that we would like to do that. And what they generally do is offer their services because they have the machine to do it, and offer contractors free dirt. And of course, they line up for the free dirt because they can resell it. So I think that's a good idea, because what it'll do is it'll be able to take more volume. Number one, to drain it, but it'll have more holding as it's draining as well. And so that's something that we can do and start on. They're doing some other in Brownsville doing the same way. He also talked about downstream further. If you'll recall, a couple years ago, a little bit south of there, there was a road crossing that had collapsed and was causing some drainage problems. It has been cleared out, and so the ditch is just full there, full flowing. So that's not a problem anymore. But from there on to the south goes probably a couple of miles. Another thing to do is that whole ditch is widen it to do the same thing. It'll allow more flow, but it'll also allow more holding power as it's flowing. And you might think that, well, that's not a lot, but when you're looking at this ditch and the one from 1847 to here, and then the ditch south, that would be a lot of capacity increase to flow water. So we're going to be working on that as well as some other things that he talked about. But that's to kind of fix some of the issues that had been there before. As you know, in the end of February or the 1st of March, as long as the pipe comes in, they will be starting putting the irrigation canal from O'Reilly's to Nogales Street underground. What that will do will open up for us to be able to clean properly that drainage ditch that runs along there and O'Reilly's, and then behind it is Peterson Construction, to be able to make that ditch deeper, wider, cleaner, and be able to have access to it. So those are two huge things that are coming that will help relieve two of our trouble spots. The one East 10th Street and the other one Valle Alto, because Valle Alto drains to that ditch there by O'Reilly's. That's really all I have on drainage. Other projects, Henderson Road's continuing. We're hope they'll pave this week, later in the week, and then do final fix-ups, cleanup of the area, and close that project out. I don't know if you have any specific questions on
Mark,
other things.
The hike and bike trail, I've been asked by several folks about when are we gonna make more progress on that? Any word on the hike and bike trail?
Yes, as soon as they finish Henderson Road, they're going to move their paving equipment to there, and they'll pave from the back of the nature park to Highway 100. They started last week putting the curb on the trail on the south side of Highway 100 towards East 10th is where it goes. So they started doing the curb work for that. So once they get off of Henderson Road, they'll move along and hopefully get it done in another month or so.
Thank you, Mark.
Okay, now, motion to acknowledge the city manager reports.
I'll make a
of the item
motion.
Number 1.
I'll second that.
Motion approved. Everybody in favor, please raise your hand and say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All of those against, please do the same. Motion approved. Now moving forward to a knowledge of department's head reports, item number 1 to 7. Number 1, physical report. Any comments on the items? Any questions or topic to discuss?
I move that we acknowledge the report stated.
I second.
All of those in favor, please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All of those against, do the same. Okay, moving to item number 2, Public Works report. Any comments or suggestions, this topic to discuss?
They all in one motion. Yeah.
So we approve the motion of knowledge of department head reports from item 1 to number 7.
Yes.
Okay. It is 6:44, and we're gonna move to closed session. Number 1, deliberation pursuant to section 551.074, Title 5 of the Texas Government Code, the Texas Open Meeting Act regarding the evaluation of the city manager.
Very good.
Is there no reason to be nervous? Mark knows, Mayor knows.
It is 7:37 and we're back to open session, deliberation and possible action regarding the following. Consideration and action as necessary result from deliberation and execute section person of the Texas Government Code, section 551.074 regarding the evaluation of city manager. No action taken. Okay. We don't do a motion, right? Okay. And now being the 7:38, we're gonna adjourn the meeting. Thank you.